This segment on Baylor Athletics on Sikkim 365 Radio is brought to you by Richard Carr Buick GMC Cadillac.
Baylor National Championship head coach Scott Drew with a Sikkim 365 Radio 365 Sports. First of all, I'm watching these pictures from you guys in the Bahamas at dinner on Oceanside. Wow, how glorious is it right now?
Well, I can tell you there's a reason people vacation here, right? So, but we got in a day early so that we could do that stuff. And then now it's a business. It's a business trip, and we'll lock in. And we've had success in the past on tournaments because we treat them as business trips, and we'll do the same. We won the Atlantis before, and have a chance to be one of only us in Villanova with a chance to repeat. They're the only team that's repeated championship here.
That would be awesome. Now, there's so many of these, like, holiday-type tournaments around Thanksgiving or Christmas. How do you juggle an occasion, how you pick and choose which one you want to go to? Or is it the invitation and then you say yes?
Well, normally, Battle for Atlantis and Maui Invitational are prestigiously the two best tournaments. And with that, what makes a good tournament is competition. And you look at this year is no exception. I mean, you got Arizona State, who's had a lot of injuries early on. They're getting people healthy now. You got Auburn, Syracuse, UConn. I mean, you can just go up and down the list of Michigan State, quality teams. Last time we were here, we beat VCU in the first round, and it was a real close game. And VCU is a great program, as is Loyola. So great competition, great TV exposure. And obviously, Atlantis is a great place for our players to experience.
Absolutely, boat race Stanford. I know that's been your rearview mirror, but defensively, how you squeeze them in the second half. How impressed were you? And is that the kind of ball that Baylor's now getting used to playing all the time?
Well, it's hard to beat anybody by 40, let alone a Power 5 team. So I think a perfect storm for us. We really not only defended well in the second half, but we got some turnovers that got us out in transition, and then we finished at a high rate, which got the crowd involved, and then you get that perfect storm. Stanford was a younger team, so being on the road, it's a little tougher to overcome that when you get the crowd and the home team playing like we were. So here, Battle for Atlantis, everybody brings good crowds, and it's a ballroom, which is a different shooting venue and a different setup, and something that is unique to here. And I remember the last time we were here, we didn't really shoot it that well. So today we'll do a lot of shooting because we get the court one time before the game. Hopefully that pays off tomorrow.
Now, is Kendall Brown even further ahead than you might have thought he would be?
Yeah, I think Kendall and Jeremy and Langston, before he got injured, because of, first of all, their makeup as players. They know who they are. They know to play to their strengths. They don't try to do too much. And because they can play within their role, that allows them to play earlier. Normally, freshmen that might not know their game as well, they might take bad shots. They might not defend all the time. But those guys have been coached. They come from great programs, from Lafayette, from Sunrise, Christian, Mount Verge. So, I mean, they've played high level and been coached and been in games where you have other great players around you, so you need to play to your strengths and just not try to do everything.
So, Arizona State tomorrow night, your thoughts about the Sun Devils? You've played them before, but it's been a while.
Yeah, we played them in, and it was a great tournament in California, the Wooden tournament out there, and that was when they had James Harden, and that was a great win. We played him in the NIT before, but with Coach Hurley, it's he's done a great job of bringing in players that can get their own shot and really explosive offensively, and it's one of those teams you can play good defense and they can make shots. So it's a team that gets on runs and they can be streaky. So it's real important that we start out fast and make it as tough as possible, because it's a team that in spurts and runs.
You have players from last year's team who are back. There's obvious names. But when do you find out about who the leaders might be? Who's the crunch time guy? Will that take time, and especially with what you're about to face?
Well, I think definitely that's why you play these kind of tournaments, because they prepare you for Big 12 basketball. They prepare you for your games coming up with Villanova and Oregon. And at the end of the day, because we've had some injuries, really it affected us with our chemistry rotations and just being able to figure that stuff out in October. And still Adam, we're trying to get back in a flow where he's able to practice and play all the time. And then once that happens, knock on wood, we don't have any other injuries. We'll be able to figure out closing lineups and who performs well and best in crunch time with who. But until that time, it's putting things together, and the good thing is hopefully you keep that margin of victory pretty big, so it doesn't come down to one possession, because anything can happen in one possession, as we know. I
thought your message to Dickie V on social media was really cool. Whose idea was that?
It's probably just a team thing. So I know he's done a lot with the Baylor Bears, and I remember when we played at Florida and we were ranked number 1, and he talked to the guys and gave them a great talk, and we beat Florida, and I think that was our first win, being ranked number 1, and really appreciate everything he's done for college basketball, and the serving he's done and everything he's done in the cancer world and the fight against cancer.
Hey, one more thing, Scott. You talked about it's obviously a beautiful place. The pictures are unbelievable, but it's a business trip. Is that sometimes hard to make it a business trip when everything around you is so beautiful?
Actually, I think that's one of the strengths of our team and our staff. We've had a lot of success in these tournaments, and I think it starts with the players our coaches bring in. They're guys that respect the team, value the team, and don't want to let the team down. So very focused, and they're here to play well and represent Baylor in a positive way. And a lot of times you go to tournaments and see guys at the pool, you see guys, we have a casino here, you'll see them at the casino, and our guys are mostly in the room resting, stretching, and doing what they need to do, and I think we've been successful because of that.
Hey, how about Baylor football? 9-2 with Dave Aranda. How often do you get a chance to visit with him at all?
Well, I after wins, I usually text him. He's unbelievable at getting back to people, but obviously I know how busy he is. So proud of him and the team, and he's established a great culture. They're fun to watch, but you just love how they all play for each other, and they're about the right thing. It's a great culture in a short period of time. I'm so happy for him and the way they represent Baylor University.
And your team as well, Scott. Thank you. Enjoy the trip and come back with some wins. Thanks for your time. Scott Drew, Baylor men's basketball
coach. Hey, if you get a chance, you're always welcome to join.
Well, hey, I think I need to make that happen next year. Wherever you guys go, Maui, Bahamas. My goodness. I talked to Lauren Smith, Mac's assistant, earlier today, and she told me she was in the Bahamas. I said, oh, my God, that's awesome. That's awesome that she's there. Yeah.
We got to get that done. We got to get that done with you in the future. All right,
thank you, buddy. Good luck. Scott Drew on 365 Sports.
All right, so we're going to the Bahamas if they're there next year. All of us, just because. Marco's Pizza. Pizza